Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of Gifted Monkey TV, all things toy and toy related. I'm your host, Jordan Preston, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at a special accessory from Hasbro's Star Wars The Black Series that'll be so huge in your collection that it's bound to be a force to be reckoned with.
Respect the monkey!
We're back, guys, and keeping with the promise of the awesomeness, here we are, the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Special Forces TIE Fighter. And this is a fantastic thing. Look at the size of this box. This inside here is a TIE Fighter that's made to scale for the 6-inch figures of the Black Series from Star Wars that Hasbro has been offering for the last year and a half. This is just fantastic. Let's just take a look at this box to start things off. And I can't even begin to tell you how big this box is. This box is just a huge thing. But we see right now on the front of it, they give you a nice presentation, a nice little graphic art shot of the TIE Fighter and a drawing in the background. Here we see an actual picture of the toy, the TIE Fighter with the actual pilot. And we see a few pieces, shots of the actual accessory toy again with the TIE Fighter sitting inside of it. Very nice. And then right here, we see the actual figure. This is a 6-inch figure, guys, not the small little Star Wars figures that you see. This is the Black Series, for those of you who don't know, which is always 6-inch, so it's a bigger figure. And they made it to scale to fit this figure, which is amazing. And over here it says, First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter. Gives you a little warning about choking hazards. Gives you Star Wars, the Black Series right up front. See a little splash of red of the different things of the parts of the TIE Fighter. As we turn the box around, we see another artist rendering of the actual pilot, the TIE pilot right there. Turn it around to this side, and we see in red, we see the number series, and we see also, once again, the Special Forces TIE Fighter. All red, splash of red and black, seems to be a theme going on. On the top of the box, we just see a big Star Wars, and the same thing again with TIE Fighter printed on it like that. And as we go around to the back has some interesting detail on it. The back actually shows you again the figure, but a more close-up of the actual accessory with the figure inside. Shows you the cockpit. Sorry, figure's not inside. It shows you the cockpit, and a closer look at it down here, it shows you the figure inside of the cockpit. Shows you all different angles of the actual accessory of the TIE Fighter. And then another nice shot of the pilot and the TIE Fighter. Star Wars gives you a little history of the TIE Fighter right here in a few languages. And a few languages down here, warning hazards, Disney and Hasbro working together. Who'd have thunk it? And there we go. And on the bottom of the box, let's see what's on the bottom. Nothing, just all kind of indicia and information about the companies and stuff. So there you go. I tell you what, without further ado, let's crack this box open and see what's inside. So with the accessories, there are no accessories. This ship comes with pieces you have to assemble. So that's the accessories. You get the top of the actual ship that you snap on right there. You get these 2 pairs of blasters that go one on the top and one on the bottom of the vessel. You get our TIE pilot. Let's do a mini review on him. We get a little close-up of him. His arms go out about this much. Bend in about that much. He's not double jointed. Go about that much. His wrist swivel. No up and down on, yeah, a little up and down on the wrist. There is an up and down on the wrist, little. Like that, on both wrists. Oops. Losing my TIE Fighter here. Head goes up and down. Full rotation it would go, but it's connected to this tubing, so it only turns about that much. But you don't need to swivel any more than that anyway. So that you get a nice little mid-waist turn. That goes 360. Legs can go up about this much. They don't go out that far. They go about that far. Not a double joint. Oh yes, this is a double joint. Look at that. Double jointed legs. Look at that. Nice. Nice little pivot up and down on the leg, right by the ankle. And no swivel on the ankle. And that's the TIE Fighter. Very nice. Get some nice deep sits in there. And it can sit real well, real deep. He comes with a blaster, too, that goes right into his hand. Fits neatly into his hand like that. Come with some directions. You see how simple these directions are. This is really easy to put together, guys. It looks more daunting when you first take it out the box than it is. It's just really just snapping pieces on. And you get the two big wings that look like that. They're huge. And they just snap right in, almost like a vacuum cleaner snap. And if my wonderful director, producer can get a close-up, I'm going to take this before I got this, able to do this around. I'm going to show you the inside of this cockpit. It's a two-seater cockpit. If I remember correctly, in the original Star Wars, the TIE Fighters were single seats. Correct me down below into the comment section if I'm wrong, but I think they were single-seated TIE Fighters, and that's what makes this kind of revolutionary. They're like the old Bombardier 40s style, where they have a pilot, and then they have a guy who works the machinery and the guns in the back. And the pilot has that clear big view in the front, and the gunner has that view right there through these windows right here. See the exhausts. And there's no stickers or decals that give you any special lighting or blaster effects or exhaust effects. It's just straight out this. You see some nice little detail into the things. A nice streak of red here, which indicates the new Empire. And you have these nice blasters right here that are already affixed. They don't move, they don't swivel. This is a very basic toy, actually, for the price point. Almost a little too basic, but it looks so darn good, and it's so huge that that's the impression of it. That's why it's impressive. Once more, let's take a look inside that cockpit. You see all the handlebars and stuff where the TIE Fighter will hold them. You got seat belts in there. It's really, not seat belts, but you got these nice little brackets that hold the figures and I guess the actual pilots, if that was a real craft, inside the ship. On the roof of the ship, you have all little lightings and stuff that are just kind of stickered on there to look like all kind of machinery lightings. Little colored things on the screens there on both sides, and this little red dots on top of the computer machinery on the console. So very basic stuff, but once again, because it's so big, it looks impressive. If you guys can just look at the comparison to my body, to this ship, you can't even get me in the photograph because this ship is so big. Quite frankly, I don't know how some of you guys, collectors with limited shelf space or limited collecting space in your showcase, are going to fit this thing. This thing is just really a big piece of awesome. It really is, as we go around it. The wingspan alone is just a big... just a big presentation. I love this thing. You know, as we turn it around, look at, but they did get some nice detail. Look at all that detail on the wing coverings on the outside. Very nice. It cuts a beautiful presentation. Now, this thing doesn't have very much articulation at all. It doesn't come with any sounds, any noise, any light features. It doesn't come with any decals, as I said earlier, any stickers, like sometimes they give us accessories, some stickers to indicate exhaust or lights or things. That doesn't come with anything. It's a basic, big, huge, beautiful accessory to the Star Wars series Black Series action figures. But it is fantastic looking. It really is very impressive looking. Almost looks like some museum piece. Looking at a close-up of this thing, man, you can really see how cool this would look inside your collection. Look at it. We got the actual TIE pilot sitting down in the seat, and I think through my great director and producer with his shooting the camera, we can actually see the TIE guy in. I think you guys can catch the TIE guy in here sitting in the front window. That is really so cool. And we got the blasters that swivel on the bottom, like that. And these blasters on top, when you first get them, they'll feel like they don't move at all, but they actually swivel up and down like that. But you got to really, from the base, push them hard and you can get them to move. But at first it'll feel like they don't move at all, but they do swivel up and down. But they put some great detail on here. Look at the wings. All this machinery, mechanics indication on the wings. That's very nice. I wish it was a little weathered more with different colors to make it really pop. But you know, it's a basic figure. They made it look impressive for the size, but it's a basic figure in its look. As we swivel around to the back of this thing, we get a nice view of the gunner's view right there with the console in the front. This is where the gunner would look out. We see these exhausts. Once again, no stickers or lighting of any kind. This is not an animated type of accessory, so it has no lights or sounds or anything that goes with it. Just a basic big piece of plastic, hard plastic, that does that. I like all the indentations and the machinery, mechanics of it, that it looks like it was built. I like how they do that. The hatch just simply opens like this, when you can put your TIE fighter inside, your pilot inside. Just drop him in. It takes a little minute of negotiating once he's inside, because as your hands get in, it's kind of tight to get him in there. But you can get two pilots in here, one in the front and one in the back. And you just snap it down like this, and you're set. Well, that's a look at our Hasbro Star Wars Black Series TIE Fighter. This thing is really impressive. Now, I have some issues with it. First of all, it doesn't have a lot of paint apps on it, strong paint apps like wearing or any type of different dimensions, deep colors of shading or anything to make it look popish. It's actually just plastic with the basic gray, the basic gunmetal gray, and the basic burgundy red, but a few washes on it, very light washes on it, but there's no, in the machinery and in the gears, there's no deep paint apps that make it really pop. And for the price point, it should have a little of that in it. But where this thing excels is just the sheer size of it is fantastic. This is the first time Hasbro has done something of this magnitude for a 6-inch figure. We've seen them with the smaller figures. They've made vehicles with very great Millennium Falcons and stuff. But for a 6-inch figure, this is really a big undertaking. And it really came out good for their first foray into that size scale. This is really a very nice thing. But once again, my concern is also for you guys, a lot of you guys out there, space. You got to have space for this, because it's really a big thing to put into your collection. So you got to really make sure you have the space to justify having this thing, unless you're just going to keep it in the box. And the box makes it even bigger, so that might not be such a great idea either. Also, I would like to have a little more. It could have had lights and sound. That would have been great. Or it could have had at least some of those sticker decals around it that would make it, again, with the color pop, exhaust or light indications on the sides of it and stuff like that. That would have been fantastic too. But the selling point, again, is the sheer size of it and the fact that you can put a 6-inch figure inside, because look how badass that looks with him inside. I know for me, I'm going to put my TIE pilot in the back gunner's position, and I think I'm going to put Kylo Ren, Series Black, the Black Series figure in the front, manning this thing. So that's how that's going to work in my collection. This thing is going to run you about $179, and you can find them pretty basically at Toys R Us and Target and things like that. I don't know if Walmart has it. You can check on their website, but I know definitely Target carries it, and I know Toys R Us carries it. It runs maybe about $10 cheaper at Target. Should you get it? I tell you, if you are a Star Wars fan and you're really excited about the Force Awakens, we don't know yet, because as of this shooting, the movie hasn't come out yet. It's getting ready to. It hasn't come out yet. If it's a great movie, as we're hoping it'll be, then this might be a good collector's item. Toys R Us and Target have them, but because of the sheer size of the boxes and the price point, I think they're making this mainly for collectors, because I think a lot of little kids the parents are not going to spend $179 plus on a figure for their small kids to break it up. So because of that deal, I think they only got a limited amount of these. They've only made a limited amount. So you find maybe only about 3 to 4 of them in a store. And once those are gone, I think that's it. They'll be gone for a while. So these might wind up to be a hard-to-get collector's item running for at least $300 or $400 or $500 on eBay in a few months after the movie opens. I don't know. It's a gamble. But if you truly like Star Wars for the sake of liking Star Wars and not for an investment or a collector's thing, this is a nice piece to have because it makes your collection pop. When somebody walks into your collection room and they see this thing, it looks almost like a museum piece that you ordered for thousands of dollars. It looks like a thousands of dollars structure that you paid for or you had customized for your Star Wars collection until you get close to it and you see, okay, it's not as intricate as I thought, but it is a nice presentation and will kick off your Star Wars presentation, and it might be a nice collector piece investment for your Star Wars The Force Awakens collection. So we'll see. And also, check us out on Facebook and Pinterest because we have some photos and things on those mediums that you don't find here on the TV channel. So we thank you guys for joining us today. And you remember, collecting toys and action figures, even a to scale, to scale, Star Wars, the Black Series, Special Forces TIE Fighter, can be as fun as a barrel of monkeys. But respect the monkey. Play nice. Take care, guys.